So several people have asked us about grocery shopping and how that works here, and it's different the longer that we're here, and they're for several reasons. The longer that we're here, the less we crave certain things, and the more we like forget about things that are in the States that we really want, and the more that like Korea will import things that we don't see very often. Recently finding block cream cheese has been awesome, but lately it's stopped being block cream cheese and it's mostly cream cheese spread, which is still nice, but it's not been cream cheese spread, or not been block cream cheese. And also we have found cream, and cream lately, like we just started finding it a couple months ago, and it is a big deal because finding that before, I've never seen it until the last couple of months, and we've been several places, and like heavy whipping cream, absolutely not. Regular cream, half and half, I've never ever seen half and half, but if you can find cream, you can make your own half and half. So that's been at our local grocery store. We found cream, but today has been a big grocery shopping day, and we left the house at a little after 1, and it is now after 7, so we've been gone for 6 hours, and we went to the subway station. We had to wait an hour for the next train, so we bought tickets, got on the subway, went to Costco, and spent not that much time at Costco because today is Thursday and we have some time off from school, so it wasn't as crowded. Say if we had gone Saturday afternoon, it would have been a madhouse. It was still pretty crazy today, but it would have been a madhouse and would have taken us way longer to shop at Costco then. So I'm going to show you what we picked up at Costco and kind of tell you like how much things cost. Now the last time we went to Costco was when we came back from the States, so it's been more than 4 months since we have last been to Costco. But a couple of times our friends have gone and they've brought us back a couple of things that we might have needed. Like they picked us up some hamburger meat and some cheddar cheese and a couple of just random things, so we didn't have to go. But it's been a while, so we've stocked up on a lot of things, and we probably won't go back until the spring sometime. So, but having Costco at least in the area is nice. We've heard they're supposed to be opening a Costco in our town supposedly in March, but I'm really not sure. If they do, that will be great, and we can get some of these things a lot more often. But if not, I mean, we can at least go to the one that's like an hour train ride away from here. So we went all the way there, shopped, packed everything up. We had to carry everything back on a train, so it's quite a task to pick up some of these things. Most of the things we get at Costco are Western style food. Some of it we can find here, but Costco is usually cheaper and we can buy in bulk, so that's nice. But we usually spend a couple $100s every time we go to Costco, but we don't go all that often, so it's totally worth it. So this is all the stuff we picked up, and I'm going to go through it with you. So in this bag we have 2 boxes, big boxes of Crispix cereal, and cereal is quite expensive here, and I have not bought Crispix here at all. One of the reasons that I picked this up was it was on sale for $7, about $7 a box, which sounds like a lot, but actually that's not too bad, even on, you know, a dollar scale. So I picked both of these up. One, because it was on sale, it was like $2 off, otherwise it would have been like about $10 a box. And 2, to make puppy chow, and I'm super excited about that. This is a huge thing of Tide. We're completely out of laundry detergent, so this is going to last us until we go home. It'll probably last us 6 months. Then in this bag we have probably 6 pounds of hamburger meat, and this one thing was about $22, so we spent $40 in hamburger meat, but we'll break this up and use it for multiple meals. But this is Australian beef, and pretty much the only ground beef we can find in Korea. We buy it at Costco. It's the best kind, and we don't have it all that often, but we make sure we buy enough to freeze when we go. There are 2 jars of pickles in here. Now, one of these is for a friend, but I have an extra one that I haven't opened yet in the cabinet, so I still have 2 jars of pickles, and the one that's in the refrigerator is almost empty, so that's what it is in that bag. This jar of pickles is about $6.50, but it's the only dill pickles. Most of the other pickles that might be in a local grocery store are sweet pickles, and I like dill pickles, so these are a really nice treat, and I eat them a lot. Then, there's 2 more bags. In here, oh, this is a big deal. This is a pack of, how many are in it? I'm not sure if they're frozen. And they're made in the US. There's 40 whole wheat tortillas. This is a big deal. I've never seen this kind of stuff. Mexican food here is few and far between, so this will be really awesome to make all kinds of things. So we bought that. I think that was about $10 for that. Or 10,000 won, which is less than $10, but for the sake of it, I'll say it was $10. Then we get Alfredo sauce. There's 4 things of Alfredo sauce here. I think this was maybe $8. I think it was about $8. Then there's some Johnsonville smoked brats. We'll use this for a couple of meals. Yeah, we'll get two meals out of that. I don't remember how much that was. It was probably $7 or $8. Then this was a big deal. We picked up some Parmesan cheese. This was $7 for 2 of this, and that was a really good deal. We can find it here, but it's a lot more expensive. Then the big bag. So we got a huge bag of tortilla chips. That will be awesome and will last a while. We can buy tortilla chips at a local store, but these will be better, and they were like $5 for this huge bag. Then, okay, this is pasta. Ooh, it's huge. There are 6 individual things of pasta in here that we'll get a lot of meals out of. Probably 2 a bag. So it's like 12 meals. And I think this was $10 or $11, I think. So that's not too bad. And it's organic macaroni product made in California. Imported, oh no, wait. I don't know. USDA organic. It's from the States. Then we got a huge block, 2 pounds of sharp cheddar cheese. We'll cut this up and we'll use this for a while. This is awesome. We just can't get this here. Korea's not big on a lot of cheeses. They're getting more serious about cheese, but not really. This block of cheese was $10. Then we got some ham. I'll eat most of this. It's 2 things of ham. I think this was about $7. I'm looking forward to that. That's a nice treat for when we go to Costco. I like that a lot. Then I talked to you about cream cheese earlier. I picked up 3 things of Philadelphia cream cheese spread, and this was $11 for 3 of these, and this is the best deal. That's why I got it there. I can get this at a local store, but it's like $5 for a container, so I picked this up because it was much cheaper. And then there's a couple more things. This is a nice treat too. These are 2 pounds of sliced hot pepper jack cheese, and since we're not going to school for the month of, we won't be eating at school for the entire month of January, so we will be eating lunches at home most of the time, so we're going to use this to make some really good grilled cheese. So this was a nice treat, and we're gonna need some more food than normal because we're eating at home more often. And yeah, this will be really good. I think it was around $10, probably. Then this is a big deal. Butter. This is a ton of butter. Each one of these has 4 4-ounce sticks. So there's 16 4-ounce sticks. So it's like a half stick, I think, right? Yeah, so there's like 2 sticks. 8 sticks of butter. This is real butter. You can't really find that at a local grocery store. Maybe sometimes you can. Most of the time it's like butter product. And sometimes, like recipes, you actually need real butter. So we'll get this, and this will last a while. I think we still have 1 half stick left from the last time we went to Costco. So this will last a while. And then the last thing was another treat. This thing is full of gummy bears, and I already opened it on the train. But it is full of gummy bears, tiny little packages, and these are like, they imported these from Germany. Like, we get these in the States, but these were packaged to be sold in Germany. All the writing on it is German. They're really super good, and they will last a while. I love these gummy bears a lot. So yeah, that's what we got at Costco. We spent a little more than $200 there, but this will last for a really long time. Groceries is one of our biggest expenses here, especially if we want to eat Western style food. We do eat some Korean food. We do cook some Korean food at home. If we wanted to eat just Korean food all the time, we could do that. It would be a lot cheaper. But I mean, we like food, and having these kind of comfort foods really makes being here a lot easier. So, you know, that's kind of why we do this. We don't spend a ton of money. You know, I think when we first got here, whenever we saw something that was, you know, Western style or USA, or we're like, oh, we have to have that, and we would buy it. And now we're like, oh, we don't really need these certain things, but some of it, like the cheese and the butter and Alfredo sauce and stuff like that, we're like, yeah, we'll buy that, we'll eat that, and that's not a big deal. Right now, Zach went to the local grocery store, which is right around the corner, and he's picking up eggs and milk and some produce. Produce is kind of a touchy subject. Produce is really seasonal, and the prices are seasonal. If something is in season, you can usually find it relatively cheap, but we've kind of gotten used to like what's cheap and what's expensive here. And we buy from like local vendors. We don't usually buy produce in the grocery store unless it's like, if we want cilantro or something like that. We can't always find cilantro, so like making my own salsa, I like to do that sometimes, but if I can't find cilantro, I can't make it. But sometimes we can find that. That I would buy in a grocery store. I'm not going to find that from a local person. Some produce has to be bought at a local grocery store. The rest of it can be bought at like a smaller stand that's around the corner that we buy a lot of our produce from, and it's a lot cheaper. Carrots, onions, potatoes, things that are grown here, we can buy that's a little bit cheaper. But if you buy it at a local grocery store, it can be astronomical. Even, for example, even in season, a watermelon in the summertime is probably going to run between $15 and $20, and it's not even that big of a watermelon. When I get watermelon at school, it's a huge treat. It's awesome, and I really like watermelon. But I have found it at like a local stand. I think I bought watermelon in the summer for about $7 a watermelon, which still sounds really expensive for in the States. But when you compare it to some of our other living costs that we have here, or lack of living costs that we have here, it's okay to spend a little bit more money on food. And then, but when pineapples are in season, A pineapple can only be about $2, and we eat fresh pineapple a lot here because it's just a lot cheaper and it's delicious. Fruit tends to be the most expensive, except for right now, tangerines are in season, and tangerines are grown in the island of Jeju at the bottom of Korea, and they're so delicious, and they're really cheap around this time of year. Also, apples in the fall are relatively cheap, a cheaper produce or fruit item. Cucumbers are usually not too expensive most of the time. Yeah. So I don't really know. Like, chips are few and far between. Like, we don't find chips very often. There are a couple of Korean style chips, but they're not that great. We can find Doritos in Seoul for about $6 a bag, and occasionally we've done that. Not very often. They have Pringles everywhere here. If you want a can of Pringles, we can find Pringles, but I'm not a big fan of Pringles. I can order some chips online. We don't need a ton of chips, but sometimes, you know, chips are nice. I did get those tortilla chips. We can find tortilla chips. But I don't really like to buy the salsa that I find here. It's not that great, in my opinion. I'd rather make my own salsa. But we can make, like, nachos or something with that, with the cheese, and I don't know, or just eat them. So yeah, that's kind of what grocery shopping is like here. It's a little difficult to get used to. You kind of figure out what works for you. There's a store called Home Plus, which is Tesco brand, Tesco is a British brand, and they actually carry a lot of things, and they carry more and more stuff every time we go. I really like it. It's not somewhere we go very often because it's kind of far away. It is in our town, but we usually walk about a half an hour there and then take a taxi back. But we can find some nice treats there sometime, which is really good. But you know, we never really know. I was gonna say earlier that taco seasoning is really valued here because, well, Mexican food. They're starting to get more and more Mexican food here, or like Mexican style food, but it's still not a lot. And taco seasoning, I brought back a ton of taco seasoning with me, and I've bought taco seasoning off people that have left and haven't used other taco seasoning. But you're starting to find some taco seasoning. I can find it at Home Plus, the Tesco store. It can be expensive. Maybe it might be $2 a pack, which is about double what I would pay in the States. But you know, taco seasoning is something that I can easily bring back with me if I was in the States, or have someone send to me. Funny story. There's salt here, but salt and pepper shakers I can't find anywhere. I was trying to buy some and I couldn't find any. I think I might have found some, of course, after we came back from the States, but I brought my salt and pepper shakers with me from the States the second year, and because I like to use salt and pepper on my food, and you know, Koreans just don't, you know, season their food after they cook it, and it's like really weird for them to see me salt something, which they don't very often, but if they were to come to my house and see me like salt and pepper my food after I fixed it, that might be a little weird for them. They also don't like super salty things, so that's kind of a difference in culture. So Zach went and picked up eggs. This is 2.5 dozen eggs, but that's the standard size. We got some cream, milk, some red pasta sauce, spinach, some lettuce, and then also a jar of Nutella. So that's what he picked up at the local grocery store. Oh, yeah. And 4 banana milks for me. Yay! So anyway, that is just the way grocery shopping works. If you have any more specific questions, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them. You know, after a year and a half, you know, it's kind of difficult to like gauge like what a question might be because I'm just used to it now. Anyway, leave comments in the comment section below and I will just see you in my next video. Bye!